Hello, 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 ho. Right. Okay, right. Hopefully I fixed the camera autofocus being annoying and constantly, like, how can it not find my face? It's like a big ginger blob in the middle of the screen. Goodness me, right. There we go. Oh, hello, hi. Oh look, it's Poppy from across the room. Hang on, I'll bring the mic a bit closer. There we go. Hey Dan, hey Karimbayev. Sorry, the backwards E totally threw me there. How'd you get like custom letter A like that? That is cool. Hey, Francis. Chimpanzee. Tom! Have a gong. I gotta be careful with the gong because the webcam is actually on top of the gong. I've strategically balanced it now. Oh, I quite like this. I should get myself a gavel or something. Order! I don't know.
Get one for Steve.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, my stepdad. Yeah, I got him a gavel. I totally forgot about that. What an excellent present. I hope he uses that. Yeah. Right there with my mum. Quiet! Dun, dun. Oh, goodness me. Hey, Daniel. Only here briefly. I want to sleep at a good time, but I couldn't say no. Oh, tell me about it, man. I did not get enough winks last night. Hey, Alana. How's it going? You been on the phone to your mum yet? Just no pressure.
No, not this.
No pressure. No pressure. Right, what am I doing? Oh, I'm going to open the door. It's absolutely boiling in here.
Oh yeah.
It's not just me, is it? It is
warmer today.
Toasty. Yeah, I think we've. I mean, we're in England, so we've had awful weather. But oh, my stylet pops.
Where is it?
You couldn't be a gem and chuck my stylus over, could you?
Ah, that's it. Right, you actually want me to chuck it?
Throw it, and I will.
Falls with a break.
Hey. Oh, like that stabbed me in the finger. Oh, we've got an injury. Have you been injured in an accident at work that wasn't your fault? Call this number now. No, I'm joking, Lana. I'm joking. I'm not joking.
Oh, you've got a math
Hey, Scott.
teacher.
Bank exams today. I'm a maths teacher, but I like your videos. Oh, wow.
Cool.
Well, that's a bit different.
That's different.
I'm not very good at math. We had some issues recently. We've got someone who joins the streams regularly called Raquel, and she's a designer, but she's very good at math. So she's kind of helped me out with a few math related problems. I definitely had an underappreciation of the importance of math in design for certain things. Right, let me make sure my tablet is working.
Ooh, Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh.
There's definitely some new people here.
Yeah, I think when we do the morning ones, we kind of get we get some of the regulars, but we get like a different crowd as well. I think because, yeah, probably a lot of the US hasn't really woken up yet. It's just Daniel, I think.
Yeah.
Daniel's awake.
Daniel just doesn't sleep.
No, Daniel doesn't sleep. I feel like Daniel's nocturnal. What am I doing? So, I mean, I guess, yeah, if we're doing it at a different time, I haven't gone to bed. Daniel, what time is it? It's 1 a.m. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. What, 1 a.m.? Okay, what's that? 8 hours difference. Okay. 1 a.m.'s not too bad.
You can stay up for a bit.
Yeah. So Poppy's permitted you to stay up now. Right, why is my pen tablet not correctly
4:26. Oh my god, that's in Jamaica, isn't it?
working?
Lana.
Wait, 4:26 a.m.
Yeah.
Goodness me, that is hardcore. Fair play. Okay, bear with me. I just got to like shuffle my display around. What have I done? What have I done?
What have I done?
My pen tablet, my stylus on the display is about an inch off at the minute, and I don't know why. Oh, that is really weird.
Oh, nice. Is it because we threw it?
No, there we go. I got it. No, it's just some settings. It's just some settings on the XP Pen app. What time is it here? 9:30. That's not too bad. Well, people that only sleep 5 hours. Oh yeah, that'd be me, Scott. I only got about 5 and a bit last night.
Oh, South Africa.
Math is not my strong suit either. Excellent. Oh, South Africa, nice. Sunny South Africa. Oh, that's just rubbing it in, that is. Well, we're in not so sunny, miserable grey England. It's just grey here, isn't
horrible.
it? It is a bit crap, really. Like, even if it was completely freezing, snow everywhere, or really hot, at least you got something. But here it's just like mediocre. That's our weather, just average. Anyway, if you were or weren't here yesterday, hello. This is a snake, and it's wrapped around an apple. This is the kind of idea that I can't even remember who threw this out. I think Raquel might have mentioned the snake, and someone said apple, and it was kind of like, ooh, nice, a biblical touch there. We've got the snake guarding the giant apple, and then we put a tree in the background, and this is kind of where we got to after 3 hours. Which was okay. It was like, yep, this is good. We went through 4 frickin' apples. You've not seen this, have you? You didn't see the stream. So basically, we had to keep looking up different apples. Yeah, the images were generated with an AI platform called Visual Electric. So rather than generating the whole thing, which I don't find fun at all, I wanted to generate my own stock assets and then do all the kind of Photoshop myself. So we got a snake pretty easily, we got a background pretty easily, and we kept generating loads of apples, and we needed the angle, rather than being like totally straight on, we needed it like that. So you could just see the bottom of the angle, the bottom of the apple. We couldn't get one, and then someone said try a gold apple. I don't know why. So we put a gold apple in, had to retouch it all in, didn't work. Then we tried another apple.
Do you know what the best apple is?
What?
Royal Gala apples. They are the juiciest, most delicious apples.
I'm going to check you on that. I think pink.
Do not say pink lady.
Pink lady.
Pink ladies are not juicy and
They
delicious.
are sweet and they are juicy
No,
and
they're
they
not.
are delicious.
They're sour and bitter.
Chat, what's your favourite apple? It's a random question. We're just warming up. Don't worry, it's going to get better, hopefully. But what was I saying? I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, apples. Then Moosh wanted a caramel apple.
Oh.
We didn't try that, but we tried another apple. And then in the end, I used a 3D apple from Envato Elements, and I rotated it so I could see the underside of it. I don't know why I didn't think of that from the beginning. I'm an absolute idiot.
Rianne says try cinnamon bun. Yes.
Oh,
Hi, Rianne.
no. Try a cinnamon
You've been
bun.
picking your nose, boy.
I think there is a personal allure for me of cinnamon buns, because I did actually consider that for a second then. Now either Rianne, either you've got some sort of weird influence over me, or I have a real love of cinnamon buns. Because I considered it for about half a second. I don't think cinnamon buns were, if we're going back to the whole Adam and Eve snake apple thing, I don't think
wheat.
maybe Eve didn't. No, maybe she didn't bite the apple. She actually took a bite of the cinnamon bun.
Yes.
And the snake made her do it.
Yes.
So maybe we could rewrite history or the Bible for just for the purpose of creativity. I would be open to it. However, I spent far too long retouching apples yesterday.
Yeah. Scott agrees. Royal Galas. I love Scott.
No.
Scott is correct.
Scott McCann. Where's the kick button? Time out.
No.
Censor everyone who disagrees. Okay, last I saw of it, this looked very different. Yeah. I'm not sure which point you jumped out the stream. It was a long one. It was 3.5 hours. And so this is kind of where I've got to now. If I turn the effects on. Yeah, so you could see the difference. We've gone from that to that. Ignore the leaves in the background. They're literally the in progress bit. Yeah, a lot of it was, I think through most of the stream, it was shadows. So kind of brushing in shadows in the right places, adding highlights and just rebalancing, constantly rebalancing exposure, colors, all that stuff. And it was a lot of that and just tweaking and tinkering. So if I unpick this one a little bit and try and kind of go back a few steps and show you how we got here, I think it might be helpful. Yeah, so the whole design is kind of separated into 4 main bits, 5 if you include the tongue. So we've got the snake here, this sort of part. Then we've got the foreground, so we actually took the blurred out part of the snake body and separated that into its own layer. Obviously we've got the apple, and then we've got the tree and the bits and pieces in the background. Normally it's good practice to try and use as few adjustment layers as possible, but sometimes the way it goes is you just end up kind of adding loads and loads and loads. So the reason you want to use fewer if you can is because you can give them names so you remember what they actually do. So if I change this, it's going to be like the shadows under the body, or it might be the shadows on the head, and you can change things easier. Whereas if I want to change things now, I've got like, what, 6 or 7 exposure layers I've got to click through and find out what's going on. But that is just the nature of the beast sometimes. That is just the way it goes. So, right, what else have we got? Yeah, so this is where we started. Took us a while to get here. The original snake image was, because it was obviously AI generated, there were a few things. Double tail, which we had to tweak. So we kind of cut that short and then squished it and liquefied it into a tip. And then about towards the end of the stream, I noticed that he's got double eyes. He's got an extra set of eyes, which somehow I didn't notice before. I don't know how I didn't see that. So we had to fix that and get rid of them with generative fill. And the tongue, this is all drawn. I couldn't find a tongue at that specific angle, so I was like, I'm going to draw it and just try and shade it in. And I think it's good enough. It probably needs a bit of slimy texture, but that's going to be pretty easy to add. So, okay, first of all, let's start with the snake. So, okay, so this is one of the things added recently, actually. It was just some shadowing around where the tongue is. So once I added the tongue, obviously that would cast some sort of shadow, very subtle, onto the snake. Curves, what have we got? I think darkened the snake overall, just dropped down the exposure a bit. What's this one here doing? I think that's darkening the bottom right. Yeah, so this is kind of a bit more in shadow. Ah, this was a pretty big one. You could see by the layer mask. There's a lot going on here. So a lot of this one, rather than the snake being cut out perfectly straight before, I went in and like made it like more sort of ribbed to kind of match the pattern on the underside of his body. And then I've kind of brushed in the shadows like here. Just brush, and then brushed in some highlights here just to give the whole thing a little bit more depth and a bit more like contouring, I guess you could say. What else have we got? Oh yeah, this was, yeah, looks a bit weird now, but I think it does come together quite nicely. So basically at the moment, this whole thing looks a bit flat. So because I wanted this part here to be like the light would hit here, this bit would be maybe a bit more in shadow, and then as the neck curves around towards the camera, you're going to get a bit more lighting on here. So by adding the shadows in the middle, it just kind of helps create that sense of depth a little bit. So this is kind of a bit set back. I think this is one of the downsides of using a lot of adjustment layers. That looks pretty awful there, but I think I've corrected it with other adjustment layers, so it does get a bit fiddly. Color balance, okay, we made the snake greener. That is very green, but then it does kind of match with the rest of the image. Exposure, yeah, more shadows. This is specifically around the edges. So when you composite images together, a lot of times if you just plonk them together, they look very flat, like with the apple here. And as you'll see, if you just get a brush and brush around some shadows very, very subtly just around the edge, it can help give the whole thing like a bit more of a less flat feel. Again, like contouring. More shadows. Yeah, so I could condense a few of these exposure adjustment layers into one. Darker shadows down here on the underside. There's some highlights somewhere. There we go, we've got some highlights. So this was all a bit dark before, so some highlights on the left and the right to match the kind of highlights on the original image of the snake being lit from both sides. There we go, and there's some of those highlights I talked about earlier, so you can just see it, just turning them on. Whoosh, they pop. Ha. Oh yeah, you could get an apple and take your own photo, but at home, it requires getting an apple, getting a camera, which is at work, photographing it, getting the lighting right. Yeah, I think I probably could do, but then it's just much easier to use. I think this one was a 3D apple from Envato Elements, so the reason that this one was, yeah, even photographing an apple on the underside would be annoying because I'd have to balance it and all this crap. So using a 3D apple, I could just rotate it so I could see the underside a little bit. I should have done that from the start, really. The AI generated apples didn't actually have, they had pretty crap texture on the surface as well, and it led to, I'm not entirely sure what you call it, but as I started adjusting the exposure, the colors just looked absolutely crap because there wasn't enough color data because it was AI generated. I think that's what was happening. Like when I would push the gamma to not even that far really, it would just, the whole thing would just break apart. Yeah, so there we go, there's the snake so far. Apple, this was harder than I thought actually. So you could see that just that little bit, you see there, just adding that little bit, darkening that exposure, it just adds a bit more roundness to the whole thing. What else? Oh, darkening the whole thing. Darkening the whole thing again. A bit more contouring. Yeah, I mean, and then, okay, shadows on the apple cast by the snake. I don't know why I added a brightness and contrast there, but it's there. Color balance. Yeah, color balance, so it's not so red, it just brings a bit more green into it. Exposure brightens things up. Highlights on the left there, again, to match the highlights on the left and right of the snake. So we've got to be consistent with the lighting. What are these ones? More accentuated highlights. This was kind of more of a vignette to the whole thing to make it feel a bit more spherical. Yeah, I think it's okay. It might need some work, but the snake tail is pretty straightforward. It's just exposure and color balance to match the rest of the snake body. I think it's probably a bit green and that's a bit blue, so I probably need to still tweak that a tiny bit, or just change the color of the snake entirely. Snake's tongue. Yeah, this was interesting. So I drew that. and then added some, adjusted the exposure to darken it in places, added some highlights in other places, tweaked the color to make it a bit redder, less pinky. Yeah, that's a pretty big one. Again, more darkening, just adding more shadows, because it's on the underside as well. Yeah, that was quite tricky actually. And just more shadows. So there we go, that's kind of where the tongue ended up. So all drawn. And that was using a reference image as well. And, oh yeah, the background. So the background, again, similar adjustment layers. We've just got some blur in there as well. And yeah, I think it looks not too bad. I think there probably still needs some highlights on the apple. Oh, skin, I forgot about this one. Yeah, I added some texture to the apple and kind of warped it again to make it more spherical. So it's a bit more rotten-esque rather than a delicious apple that hasn't passed its expiry date. And I just literally got to the point where I was adding leaves. Oh, this is a big one. I totally forgot this. Effects. So kind of added some atmosphere. That's cool. That makes a big difference. Sorry, let me do it again. So before and after, then used some fog brushes to add a bit more fog. White. What was this for? I think I was going to put some particles on there, but I never got around to it. So that's just nothing at the minute. Color lookup. This was interesting. It gave quite a nice tone to it. It just made everything very green. So I kind of like that really. And then this was just to brighten the whole thing up because it was quite dark. So I'm going to lock the effects now because it's easy to grab them because they cover the entire canvas. But yeah, you can see the effects. They do make a pretty big difference. So I'm going to leave that on. And at the moment, I'm just trying to add some leaves blowing in the background because we're under a giant tree. And then I want some leaves in the foreground as well. Question, what software are you using to broadcast? OBS. Yeah, OBS. You could add a small cinnamon bun. Oh, yeah, we could, just as an Easter egg. Maybe resting up there on a branch. I like that. Why don't you just use AI? Just because it's just not very fun. Why would I use AI? It's just... You know, I don't like even being dependent on using an AI either. You know, I'm kind of... There's some uses of AI like ChatGPT and generating assets for specific things that are legitimately useful, but, you know, using AI to generate an instant masterpiece, if you can even call it a masterpiece, I just get nothing from that. I don't care. It's talentless, it's skillless. Does nothing for me. Some people might enjoy that and that's cool, you know, more power to you, but for me it's just like, cool, well done, you entered a few prompts and you've got like art out of it, if you can call it art. Soulless art. It does have a practical use, I think, if you're doing like a mood board or something and you're trying to pitch something to a client, you need very specific images. Like you saw in yesterday's stream, if you watched it, you know, I was able to generate a snake and some apples and backgrounds pretty quickly and easily. So there is the time-saving element as well. Also, if I learn to design, just another point, if I learn to design using AI, I'm not actually really learning any skills. Do you know what I mean? I could be designing with AI, and that is a big part of my thing for years. Well, if the AI suddenly goes offline, or there's no internet, or is unavailable, or whatever happens, you know, there goes my skill set. Whereas, you know, learning some software, and arguably you could say the software would go as well, but like learning the software, you're learning the tools, you're learning the skills and the techniques that go into actually making something. And when you build something as well from scratch, you know, I've got full control over this, whereas an AI design, it just, you know, you can't really edit it or work with it, or You know, so there's kind of positives and negatives for sure. Hey Kevin, San Antonio. It's 3:42 a.m. here. My goodness, you lot are hardcore. Yeah, I think it is too dark as well. I think it wouldn't be so shadowed at the top, above where the snake's head is. Yeah, I think the snake's head as well. The lighting's not quite right on there either. Now that I'm looking at it, like I've definitely darkened the surrounding environment a bit because it was too bright before, and that's intentional. But yeah, I think there would be some more light specifically on the top. Hey Alpha. How long did it take you? So it took about 3.5 hours yesterday, I think I spent on it to get it to that point. Although when I'm streaming, it's definitely harder when you're streaming because you're chatting, you're talking, you know, you are using part of your brain to like run a stream, teach as you go. I do find like I did this in 3.5 hours and I got it to this in an hour last night before bed. And so when I normally work, I'll put headphones in, I'll put some music on, and I'll just go for it. And I work and think a lot more efficiently. So, but you know, sometimes it's fun to hop on in with you guys and show the process. The layers are intimidating. Oh yeah, I know. They're so, once you understand them, they're so easy. That's kind of why I wanted to go through them earlier. They shouldn't look like this, to be fair. I could clean them up. But the reason I sometimes have them as separate layers is because sometimes I just work badly and I just kind of layer things up. But also, you know, if I turn certain bits off and on, I've got different shadows on different layers. So if I want, if the outside shadows of the snake are fine, that's good. But I might need to refine another one. I can kind of work on that. I should go through and name them really. So this might be like snake outer edge or something, just so I know what it is. But I'm clearly an idiot. So I want to get that cinnamon bun in there now. That'll be flipping hilarious. We're gonna do that. I did try making it more red. I've got a red layer here primed, and I just didn't like it. Maybe I should. I don't know. Or maybe it's the lighting I don't like. We had it gold at one point. Right, let's carry on. So at the moment I've got all these leaves in the background. This is like a scattered leaf image. And I need some music. Definitely not listening to Bloodborne soundtrack. I love soundtrack music. It's like my thing. I like it red. All right, well, we'll do it red then. Why is it red? Because Rianne said so. Why is there a cinnamon bun in it? I don't know. Because I was told to. Let me design my own way.
No.
No. I want cinnamon bun and red apple. Please, Rianne. This isn't fair. Okay. Right, we're going to have a foreground leaf as well. So we've got leaves in the background blowing, but I need them in the foreground as well to make everything feel like, again, like it's got that sense of depth. That's awful. And we're going to warp this one. This file's now over 2 gig in size, so it is pretty large. So adding that kind of curve just makes it feel like the leaf is slowly kind of falling down. And we've got another one here. I'm probably going to add this to the edge of the snake's body, specifically over like a dark area. Just so it kind of, having that slight bit of overlap just helps the whole thing feel like it has more depth. So the snake is sandwiched between all these leaves and surrounded by them. And then I might have, oh, that duplicate's a bit lazy. Maybe one here on the apple. Could I get away with doing this? I don't know. Maybe I could distort it to chunk it up so it looks less of a copy-paste job. I might get away with that. Where are we gonna stick ye? Maybe have a leaf just resting on the snake's body. We could hide up that bit of bad retouching there. And maybe just warp to flatten it. Oops. Let's not do that. Come on, computer. You can do this. This is the downside of using so many smart objects. I might have to start rasterizing stuff because you get the flexibility with smart objects, but it like makes your file size go crazy, and lots of smart objects will tank your computer. Right, so I need to flatten the bottom really. Yeah, we'll play a new game, Rianne. It's called Rianne Says. Simon's out, Rianne's in. Yes, MacBook Pro M2. Oh, thanks, Gaurav. Leaves can hide a multitude of sins. Can they really? Yeah, let's try and squish it down. Just make it appear a bit flatter. And I can just hide my dodgy retouching of the snake there. Right, there we go. That's fine for now. Okay, we've got a few leaves anyway to add some depth. The ones in the background, they're a bit half finished, so I need to go and fix them. Where are they? So I've split them into middle, left and right, but they're all the same smart object, so I should be able to go in and change these. So alright, let's go and get rid of some of this. Nice hard brush. There we go. Yeah, this won't take too long.
Stretch.
You alright over there?
Oh, stretching.
Just stretching. Just minding your own business. Don't you worry about that.
Have a good stretch.
Oh dear, that was a bit shoddy, wasn't it? Yeah, there's probably a way to automate this, but I quite like just brushing around it. We're just getting rid of those shadows really. All these leaves I think are blurred anyway. They're out of focus. You know, the ones that I've just added to the foreground have been cut out properly. This, you know, I don't want to spend too long on this. It's just that white is going to make it look a bit weird. Doo-doo-doo.
Oh, I'm here. I'm just doing some work stuff on the side.
Oh, was it one of Bob Ross's favourite sayings? Okay. Alright. Oh my god, there's a lot of this white down here. It's fine. Masky mask. Do 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 do. I think I might even have a blending mode or something on that gets rid of most of the white. I can't remember. So these weird like hard bits here, if you can see those, they shouldn't be an issue. It's just the big blocks of white where there's like a shadow. Oh man, Bloodborne music is just the best. It is absolutely amazing orchestra and choirs, and love a good cello. Love a moody cello.
Swallow.
I always listen to music as well that fits what I'm designing. Kind of really gets me in the zone. Like if I'm designing some, I don't know, kind of cyberpunk, sci-fi inspired thing, I'll have like some really usually kind of fast pace or really bass heavy cyberpunk inspired music on, or synthwave or something like that. Like hacker music, just something like that. If it's something a bit more fantasy or something, or just, I don't even know what you'd call this really. Epic, not this one specifically, but some of the work I do is like, I like going for epic stuff. I have some really like dramatic, epic orchestra playing. And I just basically become unresponsive for a series of hours while I get in the zone. Yep, Unsplash and Pexels are very good. We're getting there, I think. I'm not going to do too many more, just to get these main ones gone and just hope this looks a bit better. Ooh. Oh yeah, Rian, Envato's ridiculous. That's probably why I sound like a walking promotion for Envato. Like obviously I got my affiliate link in the description, but sign up with it or without it, I don't care. Just sign up for it because it's bloody awesome. Like it's just, yeah. I think because I'm a creator as well, creator on YouTube, I get even more of a benefit because I get the music and the sound effects and the motion graphics. So it's not just the design side of it I benefit from. It's the, like if I need music for a YouTube video, it's just like that kind of side as well. And I had subscriptions to a few music platforms at one point. I was on Epidemic and Artlist as well. I just preferred the quality of Envato's music, which is crazy because you'd think, oh, if they do everything, you'd think the quality in some areas would be compromised compared to others. And, you know, maybe in some areas it might be, but for the music, I was like, their music selection is amazing. And it's easy to filter as well. Like, I found that when I was looking for a soundtrack for videos, I found what I wanted quicker. So if I searched in something like, I think it was on Epidemic, cello, it would just serve me all these bloody pop songs. I'm like, well, that's not cello. Whereas with Envato, I could search for like dark, moody cello, filter out the options, and it would get me that exact kind of music. So just kind of how a search and filter system should work, but there you go. Yeah, it's one of those subscriptions that I can't imagine cancelling because I just use it so frequently. I mean, even this bloomin' apple came from the 3D section. Right, I think that's probably enough, isn't it? Let's hide the grey. We've got enough leaves now. You join us. Oh, you just joined Envato. Oh, let us know how you find it. If you like doing Photoshop stuff, kind of like what we're doing here, I definitely recommend their 3D library. They've actually recently added 3D for stuff like Blender, like actual 3D models you can download. But the one I'm talking about is where we got this apple from. So you can open the 3D model in the browser, spin it around to the angle you want, and then download that as like a PSD or a PNG. So if you do Photoshop work, I know Benny's used a bunch of images from his as well. If you follow Benny on YouTube, I've seen him use some. Oh, look at those leaves. They're so much better now. Now that horrible white weirdness isn't floating around them. So the leaves, they have a path blur on them. So filter, blur gallery, path blur. So I've obviously made the path weird and wonderful, so it's blurring in all different directions. Yeah, it's cool. So it blurs the leaves, but you also get the motion as well. And then we've just got a couple of other adjustment layers. Yeah, so that's the original. We've got curves just to darken them. And we've got hue saturation just to take out some of the greenness and desaturate them ever so slightly. I don't know what those leaves are up in the top right corner though. Oh, that's part of the tree. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so they're looking pretty good, but now I've got to apply all of this to the leaves in the front. So I'm going to grab the smart filters, Alt or Option, and drag, and it should copy everything. Yeah, there you go. You see it's copied it? Oh, look at that. That's turned out alright. Okay. I'm going to duplicate it onto... Sorry, wait. Where am I going? Ah, there we go. Duplicate to leaf 2. Duplicate to leaf 3. And duplicate to leaf 4. And because these ones are in the foreground, I might actually play around with the colours on these a bit. Has it copied? I feel like it's not copied the path blur. No, I don't think it has, which is fine because I'm going to re-add it anyway. Okay, how am I going to do this? So I want to adjust the lighting on these leaves. Right, do you know, I'm actually going to scrub this. I'm going to scrub the smart filters. I'm going to undo it because I need to, because these leaves are like quite focal and you can see them a lot more obviously. I'm going to do them all individually. Right, so leaf 4, we'll start with you. So going to go with curves. You could use exposure though. To darken, we're just going to grab this top right point and bring it down. I'm going to drag it to the darkest it would be, so maybe bend in the middle just to get a bit more contrast, just so it doesn't look so flat. If you go too far it's going to clip. Oh, that's the term I was looking for. Yeah, the gamma was clipping yesterday. So, okay, so that's probably as far as I can push it. And then we're just gonna grab. I'm disappointed the cats haven't come over yet.
No, on me instead.
Hmm?
He's on me instead.
No, traitor. Right, nice low flow, 30%. Where is the light? Well, I've got the light on the snake here, so there's definitely some light coming in up here. Oops, not that much. Let's undo that. Oh, come on, computer. We will make it through this. So we're doing it with a low flow value. You could use opacity as well, but we're doing it one step at a time. Maybe a bit more with a larger brush. And you can do like more concentrated highlights with a smaller brush as well. And if you do something and it looks rubbish, you just undo it. So you can see the difference there. We've gone from that to that. No. I think the thing is it's just because I've got an insane amount of smart objects. So that is when the file starts, in fact, I might do this in a minute. When the file starts to get unmanageable and slow, it's obviously going to muck up your progress and it might crash and all this stuff. I would then go and look at what you can convert from a smart object and rasterize and just do that. Just to kind of keep things moving. Right, I need to darken it a bit more. So I'm going to go even darker for that underside. And I just want there, because this is quite dark here in the foreground. So specifically that underside of the leaf. Yeah, hopefully this is helpful. You see the difference already, just those two adjustment layers. Yeah, you could do it with one, but you know. Do I want that edge on the leaf? That edge looks a bit weird and a bit fake. So I might go in and... Actually, I think I might just mask it here. We'll keep it a bit more simple. Just because this leaf is so... Oh no, that was terrible. This leaf is such a big focus point. For goodness sake, Rianne. I was going to look it up in a bit so I could get the angle and put it up in the tree. But
God,
all right.
greedy cinnamon bun.
Yeah, oh, we're going to have to, aren't we? It'd be a crime not to at this point. I can't not do it, otherwise it'd just be... Rihanna would be like, you said you would add a cinnamon bun. If Rianne wins the next competition, I'm just going to pack the prize box full of everything cinnamon bun related. Keyring, t-shirt, mug.
We're just going to have to rig it that she wins.
Say again?
We're going to have to rig it that she wins.
Yeah, we'll rig the competition so Rianne wins, just so I can send her a horde of cinnamon bun things. I just announced Rianne as the winner before the deadline. We will talk about the competition tomorrow. It's going to be UI design this time. Oh, yes, finally. Finally. I spent most of my career doing UI design, and I literally do none of it now. Well, that's not true. I do a lot of icon stuff, but most of what I do is everything else. Okay, that's a pretty tasty looking leaf now. What I could probably do is just use the same adjustment layers, but just change the values. Where's leaf 1? I can't even tell which one's which anymore. There you are. Leaf 3, right. So we're going to duplicate the adjustment layers and mask them, or clip them, sorry, so they're clipped to the right leaf. Otherwise they just affect everything and it looks awful. And then we're just going to delete the layer mask and get some fresh ones in there. Here we go. Delete. Oh yeah, courses. I haven't mentioned them today at all. I'm terrible at marketing now. Actually, no, I am getting better. Poppy!
Hello.
Can you promote the courses?
No, you got to promote it. I'll link it.
Oh, alright. I could do the trailer.
Oh, go for it.
Shall I run the trailer?
Run the
Alright.
trailer, baby.
I think that's fair. Team Cinnamon Bun. That's why you're supposed to name the layers. I know, it would make my life easier. I think I would if I was working with other people or if I needed to. I think because I've been using Photoshop so long, for me to flick layers on and off and figure out what I've done in my own file is quite easy. But I can honestly say that if I didn't look at this file for like weeks or months and I picked it up and opened it, it would take me a little while to be like, okay, what's going on here, Dan? Okay.
The trailer.
Okay, I'll do the trailer. All right, just
Get Alana's mum.
get.
Get a door.
I think this is like crossing over into peer pressure now. Breakfast smoothie, no cinnamon for me. That's very good. That's very healthy. But spinning smoothie, I feel like you're on a health kick, Rianne. Me too. Yeah, it's very good.
Right, come on.
Okay, all right, just calm down. Okay, so I've basically got some new courses coming out for Photoshop and Illustrator. If you like all this stuff and what you're seeing here and you're like, I wish I could make stuff like that, you don't need to spend 20 years messing around with Photoshop and probably doing it wrong like me for a lot of that. I'm going to teach you with the new courses. So I've got the beginner ones already up. New courses are coming 15th of March for Photoshop, 30th of April for Illustrator, and if you get them all together you get them with a bundle price, which to be honest is insane. Like what you get within that, like just if you want to learn Photoshop and Illustrator, just don't look anywhere else because I got you covered. Anyway, here's the trailer. No, there is no trailer. It's just black. Where's the trailer? God's sake, hang on. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, I got to find the trailer now. It's because I moved the damn thing. Oh, I set it up so well as well. Right, hang on. Bear with me, I will find it. Okay, there is a trailer, but because some idiot synced it up to Dropbox, it's not playing. So, we'll come back to the trailer. Put a pin in the trailer, we'll come back to it.
Oh, Andrew.
Oh, thank you, Andrea. That is very kind of you. Technical difficulties. I need to design like a technical difficulty screen. It would get such frequent use. It would be excellent. Okay. Right. Anyway, while that syncs, leaf. So Actually, no. I'll do the exposure first. So we're going to just do that. Leave the light up there. And then I'm going to use this one just to darken. Whoa, that's a bit too intense. Just darken the underside. And you could, if you're really skilled, like I'm not, this leaf does have a bit of a hole in it as well. You could try and just run a brush right down there, right down this, is it the stem? That part of the leaf, to create a bit more contouring. Gone in a bit heavy there, I think. Yeah, a little bit less though. And the leaf is missing a few bits, so we're just gonna quickly clone tool this. There we go. There we go. Leaf fixed. Not going to bother retouching these too much. They will have a blur applied, but it'll be slightly lesser. But I do want the edges to be softer. Anything that's like a real big focal point has got to be retouched properly. So parts of the snake I was quite lazy with, and I didn't pen tool it or anything because of time. But I think most of those bits of the snake are in shadow, or very small. And we can lighten it a bit. It's gone a bit dark there. Oh man, Photoshop is proper lagging. Okay, right, 2 leaves done. You need a desaturation now on this one. A bit too green. Alright, we'll give that a save. And while that saves, we'll see if the trailer works again. We'll give it a go. No, don't want to work. No trailer. Oh, never mind. You just have to imagine there is a trailer.
I could link the trailer. But then
Hey?
I could link the trailer.
Yeah, link the trailer. Goodness sake. Oh dear. Never mind. Never mind. It's great. Anyway, trailer aside, back to leaves. I'm going to have to clean this up in a minute because this document is real struggling. I don't even know how big this is anymore. It's not even a PSD anymore, it's a PSB, which is like a large file format. 2.58 gig. Yeah. Oh, thank you. There's the course trailer, yeah. So there's a bundle price, but also if you enroll or pre-order as well before the 13th of Feb, you save even more as well. So this is leaf 2, I think. Right.
What?
Oh, I bloody love music so much. All right. Exposure. Oh, a child. Hello.
What? You want it? Okay.
Curves. Right, we're going to use you. So darken everything. I'm going to remove this bit. Yeah, maybe just lighten that a little bit. Oh, that's not too bad. Bit of desaturation. We'll go minus 60, I think seems to be what I'm working with. Yeah, there we go. Less green, moody leaves. Right, one more leaf. Right, for this one, I'm going to add an exposure adjustment layer underneath because I want it to be, this is going to be like a shadow. And this can affect everything under it because it's just going to be the snake's tail or body. So we're going to go super dark, invert, and we're just going to brush in a shadow. Oops, let's get it underneath. Alright, leaf itself, exposure, we're nearly there. And now we've got to add the shading again. And if you're wondering why I'm using curves for some things and exposure for others, it's just because like you can do very similar things with both. But sometimes I find curves can be a lot more complicated and sometimes exposure is a lot easier. You just throw these sliders for exposure and gamma in the opposite direction and then boom, you can darken things like really dark. And it's just a lot easier. There we go, I'm going to darken you down there. Arguably could make this a bit flatter. But yeah, if you prefer to use levels, that is totally fine as well. I think it's just, you know, sometimes I get a better result with curves. Sometimes better with exposure. I don't really use levels anymore. Curves is like levels and more. So once you get familiar with curves, it kind of becomes pointless to use levels. Ah, there's a bit of snake peeking through there. So let's move leaf. There you go. Move our leaf in our shadow. And that shadow is going to need to be a bit darker. Come on, Photoshop. feel like it's struggling. There we go. Okay, let's get it a bit darker. It's always better to go darker because then you can, with the actual adjustment layer, because then you can brush it back in lighter. Yeah, that's not too bad. I could flatten that down a bit. Oh, I might actually curve that. Which is going to be a bit annoying because I might have to change some stuff. Oh no, I can't. Alright, I'll come back to that. I was thinking I could like bend it to have it look like it's sitting a bit better on the surface, but that's okay. And then leaf 4. Right, let's smart object that again, at the risk of Photoshop exploding. Yeah, PC's struggling there. Yes, this is my project. Hey Elaine, how you doing? Yes, this is where it started yesterday on stream, and then this was about 3.5 hours, and then an hour off stream, and today with the leaves we've kind of got it here. So it's definitely, yeah, it's like I was saying yesterday, like time is an important ingredient, and you might take a long time to get the basics right, especially like I did yesterday. Sorry, no, it might be relatively quick, especially when you're doing it off stream, to get the basics, but it's the little details that you do over time. All of these little details add up to a much better result. And you look at the end result and go like, wow, but it's just lots and lots of little details, usually around shadows, lighting, compositing. Okay, so leaf 4, that's this one. So I'm going to add a bit of blur, path blur, we'll try that. Speed, right, I want this slower. All the leaves in the background, I want them blurred, out of focus, they're moving fast, but I want these ones to be a bit more in focus. So we'll try 20% on the speed. In fact, I probably should. Oh no. Whoops. We could use motion blur, but it just runs in like one direction. So it doesn't really look great. Oh no. Delete. Right. If it does this and it won't load because it's trying to constantly render the preview, just turn it off. Then I can kind of draw my arrow. So that's kind of where I want it to go. 20%. So yeah, once you become familiar with this panel, I would turn off preview, do your settings, and then when you're ready, preview it, because it will just take ages to load. Yeah, so that's not too bad. Double tap enter. We don't need to see the preview rendering. We'll just kind of bypass that. And then I'm going to put some Gaussian blur on it as well, because I want it out of focus. Like I've got to match it to this taily bit here. So maybe 10. And I could move the position around as well if that's not working. Right, other leaves. Okay, I feel like this is number 3. This is a lot of work on a flipping leaf, isn't it? For goodness sake. Blur. Path blur. This has turned out quite well actually from yesterday, because this idea in these images was suggested by chat, and so obviously doing that, there's always the chance that you're going to get two images and have a rough time with it, but it's kind of come together.
It's making me want an apple.
What, really? This disgusting, rotten-looking apple guarded by a serpent is making you want an apple?
Want that apple.
You've got issues. Oh, you don't want this apple? What, is this apple not good enough for you?
What a snake.
I feel like we need to give the snake a name. I'm getting Bertie for some reason.
No,
not Bertie. Cyril? Cyril the snake.
Yeah, it has to be an S.
Sammy the snake. It doesn't look that menacing actually. I could have done with a more menacing one, like staring down the camera, like this is my apple and you better. Snakesky. Oh my god. Who could have seen that coming? Everyone. It's definitely a versatile brand name, isn't it? Like if I ever completely sell my soul and decide to start selling toothpaste, hey, toothpaste ski. Need a new dishwasher ski. Yeah, that ain't happening. I actually had someone actually legit emailed me with a sponsor offer for toothpaste a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, lovely.
And I had a joke with a friend years ago, and I was like, yeah, like, if you ever see me selling or promoting toothpaste,
really?
you know something's gone wrong. Yeah, it was with Tim, I think. We made some sort of joke. And I was like, I'm never promoting or selling toothpaste ever.
Unless it's fluoride free.
Unless it's fluoride free, yeah. Even then I wouldn't be promoting it. Fucking toothpaste. Ski holiday.
Oh.
Need a break after a hard year at work? Ski has got you covered.
Come skiing at Dansky.
Do you know, I think that would be so outrageous. I might do it just for it being totally ridiculous. It might be quite entertaining. Yeah, exactly, Rianne. Yeah, it's the tiny details. It's also the PC's not handling it because it's also a massive file. You know, size-wise, the dimensions are pretty hefty. It's 300 dpi as well. Smart objects have got a lot to do with it, but I keep everything as smart objects until it drives me totally insane, because then I just have more flexibility. Although I definitely am approaching that point where it's driving me totally insane. I like to work fast, and when the computers and the tech and software or whatever can't keep up, it's like, come on, sort it out. But we haven't had a crash yet. Not a single crash. Touch wood.
Crash for saving.
Yeah, those leaves look rather tasty. Right, the leaves. What?
Toothpaste sues Dan for defamation.
Yeah. What the fuck's this? Lawsuit from Colgate. Hey Poppy, why am I being sued by Oral-B? Right, I'm gonna blur those leaves in the background. this is, you guys are out of control now. This has gone too far. This has got to stop. Okay. I'm just gonna blur those background leaves with a terrible German accent. Yeah. I think. Sugar.
What have you done?
Dropped from a stylus, but it got stuck in the chair, so we're good. Yeah, I definitely could do with some file management and folder organization. I might do that in a minute, actually. Okay, I'm going to put this leaf down here, so it's less of a focal point, and it's going to kind of stand out a bit more against the dark tail over here. I'm actually going to move it down. I have a habit of designing in a very organized way, and this is obviously a very chaotic scene with leaves flying everywhere, so I don't want it to look too perfect. It would probably benefit from having a few more leaves in front of the snake. How can I do this without wasting my life doing leaves? Because I think I've had enough of that. So I'm going to duplicate all of these. Please don't crash. Come on, we can do this, Photoshop. I'm going to save the document now. I'm just going to save it and take a break. Oh, thank you very much, Art Graphic. It's getting there. One step at a time, it's getting there. That would be a good idea. Yeah, I do like that, Paul. That's a good idea. To make your own whiskey and trademark the word whiskey. Oh, jeez. Yeah, Dansky gets sued to the moon and back by every whiskey brand there is. Oh, yeah, I mean, look at this file. Look, this is still saving. It's going to take about a minute or two to save this file. It's insane. Yeah, we still need to do the lighting on the head of the snake and the apple. I think you're right about that, Rihanna. I need to come back to that. And I feel like it needs something else as well. I don't know, maybe some like light rays shining through the trees or something. So it's all very dark and dingy, but then there is some light coming through, which would then give the highlights a bit more context. Yeah. 83%, we're nearly there. Yeah, you can definitely see how it's progressed since yesterday.
Hello.
Oh, a child.
Not till later.
Hey, ski, dance, ski, how ski, you ski, doing ski. Elon Musky. Oh, literally works with anything, doesn't it?
Yeah. It could be a language.
It can just be our language. Only we can speak it.
Language ski.
Language ski.
The Dansky language ski.
I'm ski, waiting ski, for ski, this ski, document ski, to ski, save ski. Oh ski, no ski, it ski, crash ski. I'm ski, now ski, sad ski. I can speak fluent I can speak Dansky. For God's sake. What has happened? Stop ski. Okay, ski.
Everyone just has to talk in ski.
No, please, no. Right. What did I say I was going to do? I totally forgot. Lolski. Oh. I swear I said I was just about to do something and my brain is turned off. I'm actually going to save this file now and I'm going to start de-smart objecting everything because it's just getting ridiculous. It ain't going to survive. It's not going to happen.
Our fence is definitely going to blow over.
Is it?
Right at the back.
How exciting.
It's windy.
It is windy day.
Your ski making, ski, mess ski, speak ski, like ski, that ski, for ski, the ski, risky, off ski, the ski, they ski.
Oh, it's Dansk Danish. Is that a name in Danish?
You're making me speak like that.
God, that is horrible to read.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Good effort, Ravi. Good effort. I appreciate the effort. I suppose you could just copy and paste the ski bit at the end. And just every word you type, paste, paste, paste. Right, let's de-smart object everything, because this is just silly. So I'm going to convert it. Oh no, whoops. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, so normally I would just grab the smart object, the adjustment layers, convert the whole lot to a smart object, and then rasterize it. So now I've got leaf 4 like that. I can't go and do anything to that now, but it's fine. I can work with that. You know, I've got an editable version as a backup, and I'm pretty. I think as you get more confident with Photoshop, it's like if I need to make changes to that, I can do it. You know, rasterize. And because I've saved a separate document, actually, I could probably go and rasterize quite a lot of other stuff. Okay, leaf 2, rasterize. Here we go, rasterize leaf 1. Okay, right. Leaf 1, that should calm things down, and then we've got the other ones, the leaves down here. Oh yeah, I duplicated these leaves. That was the thing I did. I was going to bring them in front of everything and rasterize these as well, just so there's a few more out of focus. So let's scale them up. And try not to mess up the proportions. Yeah, just so it looks a bit more realistic, rather than all the leaves in the background and then I've got like a few select carefully placed leaves. That just looks a bit silly. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a levels layer so I can see where they are, just temporarily, and then I can remove some. So I'm going to remove the ones that are close to my prized leaves. So let's get rid of you. One, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Just want to keep a few. Yeah, it's obviously too many here. That one's too close. Yeah, and hopefully these will blend all right with my special custom leaves that I've spent far too long working on. They should blend quite nicely. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of you. That one up there. Down here, there's way too many. And then that one as well. And maybe one or two covering the snake a little bit might be good. But all these ones can go. There we go. So let's hide the layers. We can see how it actually looks. That one's a bit dark, so I'm going to get rid of that. Is that a leaf? No. That's a leaf. Bit dark. Yeah, no, get rid of that. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Just turn that off and on. It looks a bit more realistic. There's one covering the snake's head though. I don't want that. There we go. Ow! Just whacked the unit with my elbow. Okay, right. Yeah, that was definitely worth doing. That one there, maybe. It looks a bit weird, just being like a blur. I don't know if I should keep it or not. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, so let's get rid of levels. And where would I put that? Under effects, probably. So then all of my like other adjustment layers would affect it. Probably going to get rid of that one because it's fighting for supremacy. And then I've got one peeking on the left there, which is fine. Oh yeah, it just looks a bit more real now. Like there's leaves in the background, but then we've got a bunch in the foreground. Some are covering the snake, some aren't. That's a bit better. And we can rasterize that. Right, we'll call this group leaves. So you can see the before and the after. I think that and then the background ones, I think it is worth doing. Right, other, okay, these are the background leaves. Yeah, so I'm going to rasterize these because, in fact, I'm going to rasterize all of them because I think all of those, I've got 3 sets of loads of leaves with blur galleries on all of them and Gaussian blur. It's just going to destroy my computer. So call it background leaves. There we go. Rasterize. I'm going to give that its own folder. I try to put everything in folders when I do get to the organization stage because then it's easy to look at a stack of folders. So we've got snake tongue. Right, let's bring that closer. We'll put the apple, change that to just apple now. Apple 4. Yeah. So even if the adjustment layers themselves are pretty chaotic, oh my god, what have I done? Oh, should I have not moved that? Hang on. Silly Dan. I've reordered something and buggered it up. Hang on. What have I done? What have I done? Okay. There we go. I have no idea what I did then. Also, you don't want to know how I created the texture for the apple. I bet no one can guess. Well, you could probably see from the layer name, but specifically what type that is. It's quite unpleasant, but it created a very good texture. Right, apple highlights. In fact, I'm going to just copy this and paste it into the excuse me, the final document just to kind of, I like adding these checkpoints as I go because then it's quite nice at the end. Like this number here can get up to like 20 or 30 and it's nice because it's like a checkpoint of a progression, so you get to click through. It's great for creating like animated GIFs and things, or if you want to like do a promotional thing and showcase your work, you can just turn them on and off and you get like a progression. So I think this is today. So then I can save that and go back to the document and see it in all its glory. Hey Kareem. Yo. Right. Oh, I've not even mentioned the 30 days.
Ooh.
Right, hopefully this will, I'll share the link more successfully than the trailer. Yeah, so I've got a new email program that you can sign up for free here. Basically, it's one design tip a day for 30 days. The feedback so far has been absolutely amazing on it. It's been really positive. So things like picking fonts, choosing colors, software, portfolio tips, how to get clients, working with clients, tips, just basically like the best things that, like the little kind of nuggets of, I guess you could say, wisdom or things I've learned in the last 20 years of designing professionally, kind of packaged up into 30 emails, and you get one a day. And it's kind of, the emails are pretty short, but it's like most of them have got like an actionable steps bit. So it like says a bit about da 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 da, and then it's like, okay, try this, take your design and then focus on one element, remove other stuff. And I think it's like the second or third email is about simplifying your design, and it's got some practical steps how to do that. So it's the sort of thing, a lot of it is the sort of thing that I mention in the design reviews, where I will critique the spacing or the hierarchy or the layout or that kind of thing. So if that sounds good, you can sign up for free there. Oh, this is coming together quite nicely. How long have you been working in the photo manipulation field? Oh yeah, so that's an interesting question, because there isn't really an easy answer for that. So I first fell in love with Photoshop when I was about 16, 17, and that was Photoshop 7, and I started doing what I guess you could call very beginner level photo manipulation. I've still got all those designs. I could probably show them if I could find them somewhere. I definitely still have them. I started designing signature banners. You know, they get the SIGs, the footer things in forums and whatever, back when they were like a lot more popular. And I started selling my design services on a platform called...
Oh, there we go. You're late, Crumble.
I was literally like mid-sentence there. You've got no respect, have you? You couldn't even wait till I finished my sentence. And there was a platform called bootleggers.us that was like a kind of role-playing, organized crime game. You had to like, you know, form like a little mafia and do jobs and heists, and one of you was the driver and one of you was this. But in that thing, you could have your own profile. So you could essentially have a profile page. And I used to design profile pages and banners for other members, and I would advertise on the forum. And so I would sell my services as a Photoshop beginner for currency on the website, and then I would use that to kind of do heists with my friends. I don't know why inverted commas friends, but heists. And yeah, that's what we would do. And so I was kind of selling my services pretty like right at the beginning, really, but it was good fun as well to learn. Meowski. And then I did Photoshop professionally for years and years and years. Did a lot of shoe retouching, which was unbelievably boring, but very technically useful to learn. And I think it was around about 2000 and no, I started my professional career properly working for a company in 2006. And so I was doing it before, like on a freelance basis. But yeah, a lot of it was like corporate stuff, and then I think it was, I forget the year. It was either 2016 or 2017. I started doing a couple bits of Photoshop stuff with a photo and adding effects and things, kind of like I used to back in the day. And it was a little bit like, oh my God, I've not done this for so long. I've just been so focused on either doing corporate retouching or just teaching Photoshop. I haven't actually made anything fully like creative like this in years. And it was kind of like, oh my God, I'm quite good at this. I enjoy this as well. And I've got those versions of Photoshop work as well from like, well, what is 8 years ago now? My goodness, where did that go? And that was the point where I started doing it again. And I did a few cyberpunk ones. I think I've shown them before in other streams. Persky. And it just kind of went from there, really. So I guess I started, like I re-fell in love with photo manipulation. I feel like it's 2016 or 17. Sometime around then. But it's not what I do. Like, if I did it all day, every day, I would just be so good at it by now. But because I mostly teach and I design other things and do all sorts of stuff, logos and what have you, I don't get to dedicate as much time to this as I would like. I would do it all day, every day. But this is just kind of one of the things that I do. But I've got to the point now where I've gone through that process in the last 8 years and made a crap ton of mistakes. And tried different techniques and just got things to work and some things haven't. So I've gotten pretty good now at, definitely a lot better anyway, at trying to figure out what's not working and then knowing what to use to fix it. Like, it was kind of like, oh yeah, like I've been teaching Photoshop for so long, like I can figure this out. I might not be able to draw very well, but technically it's like, oh yeah, well I need to do this thing, so I know that I need to use this adjustment layer or this tool. I'm back with my breaky. No, you mean break ski, Rianne. You missed out an S. No, SSK. We've all gone bonkers here in the chat. I'm 17 now, and I wish I was 17 again. Actually, no, it'd be kind of weird. Hello, I'm your 17-year-old boyfriend.
No.
And I got to a kind of pro level of photo manipulation. I do it for fun, but I can't seem to find any use case of it in any money. What do you suggest for me to do now? Well, it is a bit weird with all the AI art stuff out at the moment. I think, and maybe this is just my bias as an educator, but you could explore teaching it. If you've got pretty good at it, then you could consider teaching it and then selling that teaching, whether you do one-to-one sessions or coaching or have a specific program or you do a course where you kind of teach certain things. Because, AI art everywhere, there's still lots and lots of people that would like to learn it. And I think if you can create, well, it's kind of like with my courses, if you can create some visually stunning pieces that you've put a lot of time and effort into, and people can go, wow, that's really cool, I wish I could create that, and then you can say, hey, I will teach you how to create that. It's quite an enticing proposition, I think, to be able to look at, obviously teaching is something totally different. It's one thing to design, but teaching is something else entirely. But if you can teach what you know to people, it's great because you get to make a living and then you get to teach someone as well. So it's kind of win-win, really. And they don't have to spend, like, it's what I always say when I'm kind of trying to promote my courses. It's like, I've spent 20 years screwing around with all this stuff. I've made all the mistakes. Just let me teach it to you so you don't have to do that. You can just learn the right way to do it from the ground up. It doesn't take 20 years. It just takes the right knowledge and the right delivery of instructions to teach someone. That's I love that. That's a nice progression from yesterday. It's funny, isn't it? As you kind of layer all this stuff up as well, you then look back and go, oh yeah, I can see that was a real improvement. Oh, do you know what would be a crazy challenge? Would be one day to do like a 24-hour stream.
Oh my God, no.
A 24-hour stream designing something like this, start to finish.
You'd be a mess.
I would drink. I would be a mess, but I think they would keep me sane. Or I might fall asleep. But it would be not necessarily fun. It'd be quite tough, but it'd be interesting to see start to finish. 24 hours, no way out. You have to keep going forward with the design. If it's hard, you just keep going forward to see that progression and what the end result looks like. Moosh! I'm going to do the gong very gently for you because the webcam is balanced on top of it. There we go. Has the cat left me already?
Yeah, he's come to me.
Did I put him down?
No, he came to me.
Ugh,
He doesn't love you anymore.
you traitor.
Stupid little kitty. Stupid fat cat.
Oh, you're very stupid.
I got to the point where some of my artwork looked like AI and people asked me if I made it with AI. Yeah, I mean, if it sounds like you're pretty good at it, so if you are that good at it, you are going to get people asking that. So, I'm not going to lie and say it's not a problem, because I think for artists as well, it's obviously it's a pretty tough, weird time at the moment where art is being generated. Art.
What happened to your studio, Dan? Yeah, why are you at your studio? Get out. Rian.
Where?
Rian.
What happened to your studio, Dan? Oh, I'm at home in the night. Honestly,
The studio's still there.
The studio's still there, and it's going to be it's more of like a set. It's going to be very, very essential when it comes to recording the course lessons because it's got like the audio treatment and everything. Honestly, it's just quite nice being at home, and this chair is so comfy. It's such a comfy chair.
Yeah, there's no cats at the studio.
Yeah, there's no cats. Yeah, that is a valid point. I
I'm
do have
here.
a plant at the studio that I've still managed to somehow keep alive.
It's still alive.
But it
You
is.
sure it's not fake?
No, it's very real. Thank you very much. But it doesn't give me the same love and affection that a cat does. That cat is so ridiculous. What is that cat? I got to take a picture of that. I'm sorry, that is just ridiculous.
Oh, he's talked about taking Crumble to the office
I
loads,
have.
but I think Crumble will just freak out.
Crumble. The cat is such a donut. Look. Hang on, I'll see if I can show the camera. You might not be able to see this.
Am I in it? Don't show
I just
me.
zoomed in on Crumble. Look at him. He's just chilling there with his legs hanging off. Flipping gooseberry. Such a numpty.
You're a very strange cat.
One of the rare times I need to use AI and Photoshop and it's not working. Oh no! Is that the generative fill pool? Generative fill pool? Yeah, sorry, my brain malfunctioned. Okay, sure. Next step. Right, yeah, we need more things. Saliva. This is cool. I remember showing this before on a stream and a few people quite like this one. You definitely need a pen, tablet or display for this one to work, to get it proper. So, new layer. White. This kind of brush. Flow. 5%. Really small. I'm going to draw. Yeah. So I've got to think where this. What's he whispering?
He's talking about how he unlocked something and something.
Oh.
Crossing.
So where's the saliva going to be? Is it going to be maybe between the forked tongue? So we're going to just brush very lightly. Oops, maybe not that lightly. Might need to go for 20%. just have a few bits coming down, and then just create a few like crisscross strands. This might take a few goes to get right. Don't want it to look like a spider's web, which that arguably does look a bit like. So we can always just scrub it out and have another crack. Want it to, I want it to look more saliva, less like hair or fur. That's okay. Maybe a little bit kind of hanging down there. Not sure. I don't want to overdo it. Oh dear. Yeah, that's all right. So we'll call that saliva. Turn it off, turn it back on. Yeah, subtle, but do. Right, pastry. I knew there was something niggling.
Cinnamon.
Yes. Sorry, Rianne. My new master. Change my job title. Servant of Rianne. What? Cinnamonon? Cinnamonon? I can't even spell. Hang on. Cinnamon. No, that's wrong, isn't it? Wait, how did you find this bun, Rianne? Or do I just type bun? Hang on. What is that? that's
See your screen.
Yeah, it's up now.
Ah.
Oh, that looks tasty. Oh, a bun with a chocolate glaze. This is a dangerous place to be. Croissant? No, you said you found a cinnamon bun, didn't you? I can't spell cinnamon though, so we're gonna have to.
CINNAMON.
Sorry, do that again. CINN. A. Oh, is it two N's? Okay. Yeah. A cinnamon roll. Nice. All right. So where are we going to stick this though? Up in the tree somewhere? We can't have it. We could give it as like a little hat to the snake. Have a cinnamon bun on his head, but that would be a bit silly. Maybe on this branch up here, just peeking out. So we're going to need like a bottom view. This is why I love elements, because I can angle it. That's probably about right. This is so stupid. What has happened? Okay. I feel like that one.
Moosh says a Dansky stream is not a Dansky stream until food has been talked about.
Yeah. Talked about and integrated into the design.
Yeah.
Right, let's get the right angle. If it doesn't work, I'm not keeping it though. So
You must keep this.
I know it's quite hard to tell. This is going to look like a poo. It's going to look like a poo because
that
it's
way round. Yeah, do it the other way around.
no.
That looks like a poo. You
Yeah.
need to do the top.
It's just still. Oh goodness sake! Right. Okay.
That's better.
We'll do this one as well.
I mean, it still kind of looks like a poo as well. It needs the white stuff on top.
Yeah, it's not got any icing or anything, hasn't it? And having it this way, it's going to be distracting.
Try writing iced bun.
No, because that's not a cinnamon bun. That's
No, but it might look like a cinnamon bun. We can just pretend it is.
Okay. I'll have a look. Right, iced bun. Yeah, we got cakes and muffins. It's not quite the same.
It's a low-calorie cinnamon bun.
Yeah, like it's one of those like healthy alternatives that you kind of bite into it and it's just tastes of disappointment. Okay, background tree. We're going to stick it up in the tree somewhere. No one will see it, but we'll know it's there. Okay.
It looks like a snail.
Say again?
It looks like a snail.
It does look like a snail, doesn't it? So we need to just color balance it now in this image, and then it should, because it's part of a smart object, it should kind of, when I save it and update, it should match everything else. Proper balancing, isn't it?
It could be another snake.
Hmm?
It could be like the part of the other snake wrapped up in like a little
It could be like a baby snake.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to run a blur around the edge.
A monkey just took a shit.
It could be that as well, yeah. This blur is going to just soften everything and make it more realistic. 3D models are perfectly sharp. Actually, that is too much. 3D models are perfectly sharp and it can look quite unrealistic. So you see you get the aliasing around the edge there. It says jaggedy bits. So I'm just going to run a blur or just mask it with a soft brush. Get a bit more realism there. Okay, color balance. So we need to drop the saturation first of all a little bit. Cinnamon bun. Exposure. Actually. Yeah, we're going to spend time retouching the bun. Just thinking about where light is in the scene and where it's going to kind of hit. So not necessarily the underside, but definitely parts of the outside. And then as you get closer to the tree branch, it might be even darker. Bit too much, but I can dial that back in the adjustment layer. And on top of it all, we need color balance. So we're going to add, yeah, green. I think this is a very greenish image. So the midtones, I think, were pretty good there. So you can see once you learn these different techniques, it's very easy to go from that, which just doesn't look, you can see it a mile off, to just blending images together. Once you kind of learn and sort of master that process, you could do it with 10 images, 100 images, and wouldn't matter. Whereas if you're doing the compositing and the retouching incorrectly, and then as you increase the number of images, it's just going to look worse. I can hear you giggling. What's she doing? She causing trouble. She better be satisfied with this bun.
Yeah, that has brought a tear to my eye.
Okay.
Photo manipulation at its finest. And then she put, a tiny bit of me feels bad. It looks past its best before date.
That's fine. As long as you appreciate the work that's gone into this, that's absolutely fine. You got your bun.
Paul says this could be your new trademark. Every artwork has a hidden cinnamon bun. I love that.
Either that, yeah, or just something totally unrelated that we all have to agree on, and it has to go in there.
Cinnamon.
Yeah, you can see it. Look, it's there. There is the bun.
Hey. Cinnamon ski dance.
Hang on, let me turn the effects back on.
Cinnamon ski bun ski.
I flippin' love that idea. There is the bun. I love it. I'm going to do that with every bit of work from now on. I'm going to hide something in there. Either if it's a live thing, then we agree on it, or it'll be a bun, or just something totally unrelated to anything. Ding! You've got to find the thing that doesn't belong.
Yeah.
No one's going to see that though.
No, that is like a really cool, like.
It's perfectly hidden. You'd never see that.
Find
but
the
it's
cinnamon bun wherever.
yeah, find the cinnamon. Or maybe it is just like Where's Wally? Or if you're in the US, Where's Waldo? You know, find the bun. Yes, I'm using a pen display thing. If I can show you without disconnecting everything and breaking it. Yeah, I love that idea, Paul. I mean, Rianne, if you're going to get banned, that's a good reason, right? So, what horrific thing did you do that got you banned from these streams? I kept asking for cinnamon buns in his designs.
Oh yeah. My anaconda don't. My anaconda.
Right, we've got to retouch that apple.
You got buns, huh? Something like that.
Yeah, apple needs work. I've done way too many adjustment layers on this apple. I've definitely made this harder. Right, lighting. Right, we need a soft brush, make it a wee bit larger, and then we're gonna get a nice low flow. Am I gonna sneeze? No. Oh my lord!
Just loads of snot comes out of your nose.
Oh my goodness, it's probably gone everywhere. Yuck. Yeah, we've got to lighten that apple up. The problem is I've like I've got so many exposure adjustment layers. I've lightened it, I've darkened it, I've lightened it, I've darkened it, that I think I might have to... Did someone put sneeze ski? A chew ski. Very nice, good pull. Very, very unpredictable.
Bless you, ski.
Bless you, ski. Thank you, ski. It's very ski kind, ski of you, ski. Oh yeah, I've mucked this up. I put too many adjustment layers on. I feel like I'm gonna have to.
I can't stop yawning.
I'm gonna have to go back a bit. Rather than adding more lighting adjustment layers, I'm gonna go back a step. And try and work with my existing adjustment layers. Yeah, that one's quite heavy-handed. That, I mean, already that's an improvement, I think. Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like this feels quite intense. Dark, light. Yeah.
Oh wait, they're not saying what you're saying.
Say again?
They're not saying what you're saying.
What? Oh, is
Still
this?
on the tree.
Oh, is it frozen?
We can see you, but it's
Oh, what?
frozen on the tree.
That's annoying. God, I've not had that happen in a while. Go away. Yeah. Oh, weird. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Haven't had that happen in like forever.
Apparently now your voice is gone.
Now the voice is gone.
What is going on?
There we go. That one was me. That was me. The sound is bad, but now it should be good.
You're low now. Sound is weird.
I think that's... No, I think I should be good now. It's back to what it was. I think it was using another microphone. Is this alright? It's good now. Yeah. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, that's a bit better on the Apple there. So rather than layering in extra adjustment layers that are going to complicate things, I'm just working with the existing ones I've got to just brighten this whole thing up. Yeah, it's some pretty heavy shadows in there as well. I've got to find which one they're on. So this is where naming them would be easier. Might be that one. Yeah, that's not too bad. Original. The texture needs some retouching. Oh, I'm sorry for this. If you're a bit squeamish, you might want to look away. I'll just give you a heads up. It's quite unpleasant. Yeah, that's the original image. And I think I need to like warp it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's horrible.
Well, I typed in rot. I was looking for rotten things, and that was pretty grim. But then an image of some sheepskin popped up, and it was like, that has the texture. So that is actually sheepskin blended into the apple. And it's good, but around the edges looks a bit rubbish. I think I need to warp it. So I'm gonna copy the layer style. I'm gonna clear it, convert this to a smart object. Yeah, demonetized. Ah. Well, at least I gave you fair warning. Paste that in. I think that's one of the great things about doing the courses as well, is that, oh, hang on. You know, before I was literally making, before I started doing courses, I was making my living from YouTube. And my revenue started going down a lot, like a lot. And I was, you know, I guess you could say that I was like, you know, beholden to them, so they could just demonetize me if they wanted to. And I think now most of my income comes from course sales. I'm literally being supported by like all of you who have enrolled in my courses. You are supporting me now, which is much better, because then if I decide to tell YouTube to, well, you can probably imagine, then I could do so without
still feed your kids.
feeling their wrath. Hey,
You can still feed the kids.
I can still feed the kids. Yeah, you can still buy cinnamon buns
Yes.
for me and Poppy. Feeding the kids is a bonus. Making sure we've got adequate cinnamon buns, that is the priority.
We live on cinnamon buns.
Not that I'm planning on telling YouTube to, you know, get stuffed, but it's just nice to know that things went wonky. I could do. If they demonetized me on my channel, it's like, hey, I can still buy cinnamon buns at the end of the day.
Which is another good reason, if anything does go down and YouTube crashes or whatever,
Yeah.
then you've got your what's it called? The other page that everyone talks on.
Oh, the Discord.
Discord.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's brilliant. And people, you know, from a business point of view, loads of people I follow have been saying, you know, you need to collect people's emails and build an email list and something outside of some sort of social media, because yeah, if something did ever happen or they kicked you off the platform, it's like you've got no way of staying in touch with those people.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you have people sign up with their email address, you've got like a direct connection, so you can just, you know, you can chat to them. Obviously you can do the marketing stuff as well, but you can just chat to them, or you've got a way to say, hey, this has happened, it ain't great, but I'm gonna be here, you know. This is quite nice. I don't know what this is, like I could turn that into like a chunk out of the apple. This texture bit here is positioned itself perfectly, actually.
Also, another perk of being a course member is you get the live stream, private live stream with us.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was fun. I enjoyed that the other day. That was so good. Yeah, thank you to everyone who came to that the other day. It was so fun. I liked your idea, Rianne, of maybe next time. Basically, if you're a course member, every month we do like a live Zoom call meetup style thing. And we've done a couple so far. And I think maybe for the next one, we'll do your idea, Rianne, of having like a design brief or something, and we all have to make a logo, something like that. So there's like something creative in there, you know. Have like an hour to make something, put a bit of pressure on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some shadows here, very, very lazily. Actually, I think I've added the shadows where I should add the highlights, so I've already screwed that up, but that's fine.
Would you leave the room?
If you hear a weird noise in the background, it's a 9-year-old. If there's a weird smell in the background, it's probably the 4-year-old.
Be quiet. How dare you?
Eli, are you stinky?
Okay,
No.
right, what do we got? Okay, so the skin is clipped to the apple, so I'm going to go in now and try and just cut into this. So this wasn't planned, but maybe I could follow the contour a little bit. It's alright, Leah, could you just shut the door a bit louder? I don't think everyone heard you.
Oh my goodness, what do you want? Dinner to share?
I don't want to share.
No. Sharing is caring.
I
There's
don't
only
want
one
to
pack
share.
left. No, there's none left.
This is very honest.
Got to share evenly, okay?
That could be quite... Yeah, this could be quite cool. Does mean more lighting and shading though. They're going to end up fighting over a packet of crisps now, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's alright. If they start fighting, I'll have to swoop in, and out of good parenting and necessity, I'll have to confiscate the crisps and consume them myself. That's what a responsible parent would do. Chomsky. 100%, Elaine. I'm very late to the party of multiple revenue streams. There's someone called Roberto Blake who's been on YouTube far longer than me, and he's been saying for ages, diversify your income. And it's like, yep, all right, I get it, Roberto, I get it now. It took me a while, but I got there. Ah, yeah, so here you can see, this is the issue we had yesterday. Just too much adjustment layers. I'm just trying to add some shadows to make it look a bit more real, but I think it's kind of clipping a bit.
Alana says, is there a smooth tool in Photoshop?
A smooth tool? Depends. What would you be looking to smooth with it? We have liquefy, warp. You've got a smudge tool, which will do exactly what it says. If you're talking about drawing paths in Photoshop and smoothing like pen tool paths, no. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. This looks okay.
And the cat's under you.
And then we're going to add a highlight as well. Oh god, there's so many adjustment layers. Yeah. Ah, it's very much definitely clipping now. Doesn't like it, does it? I'm just going to do like a little...
Cat's back.
Oh, hello. Sorry, have you decided that it's been too long? We'll just add a little bit of highlight there. You decided that it's been too long now and you need a cuddle, yeah? So we're just using 100% flow to get those pronounced highlights. And then like a lower percentage to... Adorable, isn't he? How can you not love this little furball? Lower flow to get the softer. When you get like better at it, I'm not doing it here, so it's kind of more do as I say, not as I do kind of approach, but you could have one adjustment layer and you could do the soft highlights and the hard highlights on it, both on the same layer. I'd like to do it separately personally, because then I can just, if you have your soft highlights and your hard highlights on the same adjustment layer, you can't easily just, they're like together, so if you need to alter one of them, you can often affect the other one. Yeah, so lighting wise, I think the apple looks better, but this leaf now needs more lighting because it's right next to where that is, so it's got to all make sense. There's a little bit of butterfly effect here. You change one thing and you've got to change something else. Yeah, there we go. A bit better. How do we bit better? Yeah, that rotten part of the apple there's worked out quite well. Yeah, could do a bit more with that, but this bit here is annoying me. It looks way too flat. And I'm just trying to think the best way to curve it. The liquefy panel is very useful, but the UI is pretty frustrating to use, because when you try and show the backdrop, it doesn't let you actually, well, at least it won't let me do it. Right. Oh, let's turn the effects on. Oh, that is looking good. That is looking cool. I think it's become a bit more red from the exposure adjustment layer as well. Right, let's do another checkpoint. Okay, 6. So this is kind of after all those leaves, we've now added our cinnamon bun, and we've reworked the lighting on the apple a bit. Go find your own cinnamon buns, children. Imagine a client gets back asking, what is the cinnamon bun supposed to be? I mean, I think the only answer you could really give is, oh, how did that get there? Love the live stream. Hubby was asking when the next one is. It's tomorrow, and we're gonna talk about the competition.
No, she means the private one.
Oh, sorry. The private course members live stream things, they are the last Friday of every month. That's probably the easiest way to remember it. So the next one, I could tell you, the last Friday in February is the 28th. So the next one will be the 28th of February. Yeah, it's great, and I'm, like I said on the last one, always open to ideas. We can make them a bit more fun and just have a laugh, or we can do something more educational. Like I'm an open book. Pillage my brain for knowledge, or we can just have a glass of wine or a cup of tea and a cinnamon bun and have a chat.
We've got to get cinnamon buns.
Getting cinnamon buns for the next one.
We have to.
Oh, I'll have to get the approval from Liam. Liam's my PT.
Nah.
Hey?
Nah.
This cat. Can you get your foot off my tablet? He just thinks he owns the place. He's like stretching his feet out on my laptop.
He does own the place.
It's like hair all over the keyboard, all over the tablet. Just a bit of pen to you. Oh.
Akram says.
I'm just like scribbling on the cat's head with the pen.
Oh. Akram says, I'm at work as a graphic designer watching a stream.
Sorry, what are you saying?
Oh.
I've got Linkin Park blasting out in my ears. I can't hear.
Akram says, I'm at work as a graphic designer watching your stream. I love the vibe and creativity.
Oh, amazing. You're at work, you cheeky little cupcake.
Yeah, it's for course members, Alana.
The cat is spinning so bad. It's still apples and snakes, it is. Yeah, it's also it's any course. So, you know, even if you were to buy iconic shortcuts, which is I think 29 quid, you know, if you buy a course, you're supporting me, and if you're supporting me, then I'll be here to support you. Come on in. This is looking good. I feel like it needs something. Oh, light rays or sun rays or God rays, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, okay, how am I going to do that? There's a million ways. I could do it with a brush. I don't know if that's a bit lazy though. Light beams. We could do it manually, but if there's a hang on, let me close all these windows down. Yeah, we could do it manually, but if there's a brush set on Envato, I'm going to use it. That is probably a big secret, and this isn't like a promo of Envato, but that is, if you can get brushes from anywhere to do some of the like visual effects, kind of like what I showed you yesterday with the door in the water. The brushes are like the secret sauce. They're flipping awesome. Because you can just like stamp it. Like look at this. Look at that. Light rays. That's exactly the angle I need as well. You can just stamp it in. So let's have a look. Ooh, 5 stars. 21 overlays. Yeah, 5,000 pixels. That is perfect. That's exactly what I need. Yeah. What's that song from John Wick 4 where they do the car chase? Is it like Paint It Black or something? But it's like the French version. I can't remember what it's called.
Block. No, that's white, isn't it? Noir.
Blanc. Blanc is I don't know what it is actually. What's that? I can't remember what I... Paint It Black. Yeah. Is that it?
French. Française.
I love the music in John Wick. I flip it. John Wick 1 and arguably 2. I could watch those over and over and over again. I would never get bored. We could do a product brochure. Not something I've done in a while, but we could definitely do that. That would be an interesting one. Right, anyway, brushes. Oh, sugar. What have I done? Oh, no. If you do that and press your keys, go to your channels panel and just... These shortcuts here. Whoops. Ah, they're images, not brushes. Okay, that's fine. That'll work. Oh, they're a bit detailed. I need some that are... Oh, I could blur them actually. Ah, that's probably a bit more what I want. What's that? Number 13. Yeah, let's go with 13. Oh, look at clipping on that is bad. That is not good. But I can clean it up. Yeah. So if you've got a dark background and light thing, just go screen or something, and you could blend it over. It's such a feels like cheating almost. Get your foot off my tablet, you silly cat. This will give the light a bit more context. It's way too harsh, so I'm going to try and blur it a bit. Yeah, maybe around 40. And a bit smaller as well. I think screen's going to give me the best result. You get a bit more contrast with linear dodge, but I want this to be quite subtle. Not sure if it's a bit pronounced. Oh, okay, yeah, paint it black. Something I just shared on Discord that I found mind-blowing. Adobe Acrobat's maximum page dimensions compared to the size of Europe. Let's have a look. $15 by 15 million. I mean, that's, what's that, like nearly half of Germany? That's the maximum PDF size, is it? God, only half of Germany. Goodness me. Come on, Acrobat, I'd expect better than that. Right, this cat is going to have to relocate in a minute. Stop putting your foot on my tablet. I'm going to have to... Have we got any tape or something? I have to tie his legs together and like relocate them to something. Maybe I could sellotape them to the laptop. Or is that... That's probably animal abuse, isn't it?
Yeah. Demonetized.
Yeah, demonetized again. It's me like, hey, what'd I do, huh? Alright, let's let a bit of the trees come through, maybe.
Rianne shared something on Discord.
Say again?
Rianne has shared something on Discord.
Come on, keep up, Poppy. I've just looked
you just
at that.
done that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Goodness me, you're like light years behind. Yeah, keep the lighting subtle there. And maybe some particles in the light. Let's see what particle brushes I've got. Dust particles. We'll stamp that in, we'll blur it because it's way too harsh. Nice. Now there's obviously way too many. So we're gonna shrink this down and just brush back in a few light particles. Just where the light is. Oh, it's subtle. It could work. Might need some more particles or some better ones. Overlay is quite good if you use white because it will blend into the colour behind. So I would use overlay. I love slap. Particles are great. I love slapping in particles and things, but you shouldn't ever just put them in to mask dodgy retouching, which I've definitely done before. So if your retouching's bad, don't just throw in particles to try and hide it. Although I've definitely done that before. I should probably just say that. I have done that. So I am kind of a hypocrite. But if you get a good result, it's fine. If your result looks terrible, it might be because, and I've definitely done this, you've compensated or foregone good retouching for blending modes and just adding more stuff to try and fix it, but it's actually the core compositing that is wrong. Right, what are these? How can I justify these in the design? They're a bit big. I do not like the big particles. Ah, that's a bit better. So make that a bit smaller. I could sprinkle a few of these in there on the right side, and then maybe some lesser ones on the left. Drop the opacity and go particles 2. What are they particles of? I don't know, and I don't care. They look great, so particles it is. Yeah, imagine the size of the printer. Okay. What time did I start this? 1:15. Oh my god, this is going to be like nearly another 3-hour stream. Wow. Oh yeah, I love doing this. Before, after. The apple looks flat with a texture applied. I think I need to do something with that texture. Sheen. Yeah, maybe if I bring the shadows down, it actually makes it look. Yeah, apart from the top left bit, that definitely needs fixing. It just makes it look a bit more. Yeah, I think they were too soft before. Although I've got some very harsh shadows on the right side of the apple. And now I've got to find where they are. Oh, I think it's not helped by the texture either. Right, okay, so that one. So because the shadows are quite harsh, I might just go and brush some of that away. So this is the kind of nature of the process, is it's a lot of backwards and forwards. And you'll find, like I said before, if you might add like 1,000 different, or in this case 10 different exposure adjustment layers, but actually when you go back you might start removing bits and go, oh actually do you know what, I think when I remove some bits it looks a bit better. Hear my computer humming. I don't know if you can hear that through the microphone, but my computer sounds like it's gonna take off. think doing this, like running the stream and doing all this in Photoshop it's normally pretty quiet. It's an M2 Mac and it normally does run pretty quiet. It's getting a bit noisy. Right, so with that skin texture, I wonder if I could just, some of these bits I don't really like. Oh, actually, oh, there we go. Maybe parts of the apple. I can get rid of some of the nastiness. So there is still some degree of apple there. That kind of fixes that issue. The density of the mask is kind of like almost like opacity. That's specifically for the mask. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you can hear the fan. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the thing. I mean, in the advanced Photoshop course, all of this will make sense. It looks horrible. I totally get it. I know it looks horrible, but it's not. It's really, really easy when you understand it. The first class Photoshop course, there is an entire module dedicated to compositing. So it's the guitar in the water. So there's an image of water and there's an image of a guitar, and you put the guitar in the water and you retouch, obviously the guitar being under the water, and then there's part of it out the water. And that entire module, there's a lesson on balancing exposure, one on balancing colors, and it breaks it down step by step. So once you learn about curves, exposure, color balance, adjustment layers, you know, I'm not using most of this stuff. There's loads of these. I'd never use them. There's the few that I do use and the techniques that go with them. That's what's covered. So first class, that compositing module is pretty good. If you're doing both Photoshop courses, there's your introduction to it, and it will show you how to kind of put two images together. And then in the masterclass, obviously similar to this, we're going to be doing it with a lot more. So, but once you've mastered 2, you can do 3 and 4. It's just, you know, there's just more things to consider as you add more to a scene. So if I were to put a little cinnamon bun on the snake's head, for example, I'm like, okay, where's the light coming from? Is the cinnamon bun going to cast a shadow on the snake, cast a shadow on the apple? So you've got all those other considerations to come into play. So it does get more complicated, but the adjustment layers here, like they look horrible at first, but they're not. They're real easy. They're easy. Right. I need to soften the edge of the snake. Oh, that looks quite cool actually without the apple. Oh wow, that looks wicked without the apple actually. I like that. Do you know, I think I prefer... I mean, I love the colours. I think without the apple, I like the colours. Which is somewhat annoying. Yeah, the cinnamon bun is 100% the reference point. Do I do it? I can't. Surely we can't. After I've done all this work on the apple, I can't put a cinnamon bun there. No, Dan, you can't do that. I'm just looking at it like, can't spend that long retouching a bloody apple. to then just go and replace it with another cinnamon bun. Right, what was I doing? I'm gonna have to. Sorry, Kat, you're gonna have to be relocated now. Say bye bye to everyone. Yeah, that's it. You go and hide in the beard. You hide in the beard. They'll never find you. Bye bye. Oh, he's gonna be sulky with me now. Daddy, you abandoned me. Right. Okay. No, we're going to persevere. We're not going to resort to the cinnamon bun. That's the easy way out. We're not taking the easy way out. We're going to forge ahead with this apple. Probably. Right. Snake. Actually, no. I'm not going to add any more adjustment layers to snake. I'm going to try and find an existing one that I've done a lot of shadow work on. Maybe one of these. Just needs more shadowing around the edge. Oh, this computer's having a rough time. Oh no, I'm gonna add another one. There's too many now. I don't know what's what anymore. I'm just gonna add one for the most extreme shadows. Yeah. I would do something with the stalk and the leaf on the apple, but it would kind of look like it's coming out of his head then. Oh no, you can't make tomorrow. Yeah, you're gonna have to pass the cinnamon bun torch to someone else. The tradition will be honored. Okay. Right, let's chuck all these light rays and things. I love the effects folder is my favorite because you just turn it off and on and it's like the secret sauce, the magic, the sparkle of the design that just brings it to life. So cool. Right, anything else that you think could be improved? Because I will probably stare at this for like another 17 hours before it's finished. It's like a weird reddish tint up here. I'm not sure where that's coming from. Is it something here? Color balance, yeah. What have I done? I've added like a, is it the highlights? Oh, that's a bit better, yeah. There's like a reddish tint on the light and I suppose if we do something like that. Yeah, that's too green. You've gone the other way down. Yeah, there we go. We could actually, just for fun, try throwing on these are always fun, just to kind of see how they can change the design. Ooh, very moody. Drop blues can be quite nice. Fall colours gives it like a more autumnal look. Kind of do like that. You can do this with like colour balance and other things, but sometimes it's fun to just throw a colour profile on and just look at how it changes it. That's kind of cool. I do quite like the sort of washed out look that some of the colour profiles give. I mean, we could do that. The washed out look is very easy to do. You just add a curves adjustment layer and then just bring this up, this point down here. That's obviously way too much, but just a teeny tiny bit. We could even play around with the red and the green actually. Let's maybe make it a bit more. Go super green. Yeah, so you can see with curves and color balance you can recreate a lot of the color profiles or something very similar to that, but with curves you've got that with the adjustment layers you've got that extra control, whereas with a color profile or a LUT it's just like, this is the profile, that's how it comes, use it or don't. Oh, I'm being very lazy now. I'm just adding loads of exposure ones. If I'd have kept it more organized, I could like tweak little bits and I'd know which one to change, but because I haven't, if I need to add shadows somewhere, I'm just adding a new layer. It's messy, but it will get the job done. So if you do end up with messy layers, don't worry about it. As long as you know what you're doing and you can see it all, then that is the important thing.
Are we almost done?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't a definitive
Well,
yes or no there. Just sitting on the fence. Sure. I mean, define done. Oh yeah, that looks a bit better. Oh, maybe a little bit more mist. Could even have some lighter mist to match the lighting. Right, where's my freshly installed fog brushes? Ah, they're at the bottom. Again, these are from Envato Elements. Pretty much most of them are. Yeah, that's what I want. Like this one here, specifically at the top. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Maybe one more. Maybe this one, but this can run behind the snake. Oh, actually, oh no. I'm going to be a proper hypocrite now, because I said you shouldn't use brushes to hide sloppy retouching. To be fair, the retouching's alright. Let's be honest, it could be worse. But if I do that there, strategically, oh, look at that. That is mysterious as. Oh yeah, that is it. Sometimes it is just a case of just doing that those one or two little things and it all just kind of seems to work. But that's kind of what I was saying about with brushes. They are just that secret sauce. Flipping out. Mist or fog along the ground. Okay, that is cool. That is really cool. Let's brush that away as well. So they're kind of, it's probably a bit too heavy, but that's fine. We'll just bring the opacity down. Yeah, I don't want that mist to be too pronounced. And I'm going to blur the mist as well, actually. You can blur on a mask, just so the mist isn't too like thin and strandy. That brush was a little bit like that. So I'm just going to blur it a couple of times. Yeah, that white layer, that can go. And yeah, I mean, look at that, the effects layer. Like the retouching there, even without the effects, is pretty good. The only problem is the whole thing's just too dark. But because I've added I think I've got my brightness and contrast layer in here. Brightness and contrast is such an underrated adjustment layer. Just, you can mess around with curves, levels, exposure, but sometimes you just need a bit more brightness. Even if you do photography. I'll catch you later, Alana. Cheers. I've got no idea what time it is where you are. If you do photography, like I've shot photographs in the studio before, and I'm not a photographer, so I've got experience, but I always shoot them underexposed. It's really annoying. Or at least back in the day, I used to quite a lot. And just by adding a brightness and contrast adjustment layer to all of them, it just bumped the exposure up, and you can make things look. You can go from amateur to professional with just that adjustment layer. Bump up the brightness, bump up the contrast. It's kind of insane actually, and it's good here as well. I have a tendency to design a bit too dark, so just by bumping this up, you can just make the whole thing a little bit brighter. Oh yeah, this is pretty cool. Right, I'm probably going to do a tiny bit more, but I think this one is nearly there. Yeah, look at the difference that makes. Oh, the magic. So we've got, this is where we started and this is where we ended up. So this is yesterday. That's where we started today, I think. Or was it there? No, that was where we started today. So this is another pretty much 3 hours work. It's just refine, 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 just add little things. And when you're doing something like this as well, it's about thinking about the scene. So what is in the scene? Okay, a tree. What comes from trees? Lots of leaves. So okay, are the leaves going to fall straight? Are they going to blow in the wind? Okay, yeah, they're blowing in the wind. How are we going to do that? Path blur. So it's kind of knowing which tools and features to use. I'm wondering if I've overdone it with the effects a little bit. I might try and just drop in some of them down a teeny tiny bit. Like the fog. I don't want it to be too distracting. Yeah, maybe it's just a little bit too much. There we go. Oh, that's a bit better. Yeah, I got a bit carried away with the old fog there. Oh, right. I'm just going to let this save. That is going to do it for me. I'm going to go and...
Have an afternoon tea.
Oh yeah, we're doing afternoon tea. Very fancy. What we have tea or coffee, and a scone and a scone or something else. I can't remember what. Cakes.
Yeah.
You said
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches. Well, that'd be nice.
Tea with the king.
I love the movement you add to your images. Yeah, I think it's like I was saying, it's just about thinking what would realistically be in the scene if this was like a real environment. And so, yes. And then when I think, like, when I know what I need to add and how it would move or interact with the scene or the other objects in the scene. Like if I was adding snow, I would add obviously snow brushes and all that kind of stuff, mist and wind and fog. But then the snow, like, okay, how is it settling on the snake and the apple? You know, so then you'd have to brush in the snow on the surface of the body. And when you sort of think about it in that realistic sense, and then you think about what you need to do, it's like about knowing which tool to do that. So I think the more you know, this is why I'm a big fan of knowing the different tools and features, because once you know them, it's like, oh yeah, I need that tool for that thing. So it becomes like a very methodical process of knowing what tool to use for which job, you know? Scone rhymes with cone. Scone rhymes with con. Right, cool. Let's save it. And I'd love to close out with the trailer, but it ain't working. So I will throw a link to my courses. There's still, what day is it now? The 14th. So there's 9 days left to get the pre-order pricing, which is like a big chunk off. That's the new masterclasses, the ultimate bundle, which is just everything. There's like what, five courses in there. So if you want to master Photoshop or Illustrator, honestly, just look no further. I will teach you. Masterclass is coming. The first class courses are available now. And with all those courses, you get support from me. So if you ever get stuck, don't bother going on Google. I mean, you can do, but I'm here to support you, is what I'm trying to say. So I am an open book. Oh, you're very welcome, Elaine. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, this one turned out all right. This turned out pretty cool. Sometimes on stream, it's like I only get so far with it, and a lot of the work happens off stream. And I did do some last night, but yeah, I think we definitely made some progress today. This is, yeah, it's looking cool. Snake. Google ski. Might still have to put a cinnamon bun in there because I'm not 100% happy with the apple, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, have a fantastic day. I'll see you for tomorrow's stream. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye.
Bye.